Hello everyone, my name's Mr. Big T Anderson, and this is a bit of a myth review, and as I've been going over the gods, we're going to go over Hephaestus and Athena. Now, I've been doing it just to kind of give people a little bit more information, tell you why, you should kind of look into them, and each one has their own little bit of a flavor. Hephaestus is really, he's the hands-on guy. If you want something made, you go to him. He's the forge smith. He's the blacksmith of the group. He's the mechanic. Hey, I need to get this made. Boom, done. Hephaestus. Now, Hephaestus, he wasn't the most loved of the gods. In many cases, he was the outsider. A lot of the other gods didn't like how he looked. He worked in the underground forge while the other gods were idle. And really, he was like Pygmalion in that he was bound to his craft. But many of the most powerful devices and objects came from Hephaestus. They were his work. And metalworkers of Greek, times, they looked to Hephaestus as their god. The Cyclops was the first forger. They actually made the thunderbolts. They were like the javelins of Zeus. And they made it for Zeus. But, Hephaestus was basically the one-man building and wrecking crew. If you wanted something to happen and you need something made, Hephaestus, I need something, man. And if Hephaestus liked you, it's like, what can we do? What can we do? Now, when he was born, he was so ugly, his mother Hera actually threw him off the mountain. He was reared in a cave on the shores of an ocean. Now, as a thanks, he made jewelry of the highest quality. But he was angry with Hera, and he wanted to humiliate her. In all honesty, he was angry and he wanted revenge. So, he made a special throne and sent it to Olympus as a token of peace. Hera delighted in it, sat in it, but as soon as she did, it held her fast and it rose in the air. The drunken Hephaestus returned to Olympus astride a mule, with his ally Dionysius in attendance. The enraged goddess, the embarrassed queen of gods and men, sent Ares to bring Hephaestus back to high Olympus to free her. He made a trap. Basically, Ares was sent out. It's like, dude, what did you do? Just think about that. You have Hera, who is known for, saw this child, didn't want it, saw this throne, sat in it, it starts floating in the air. She can't get out of it. And Hephaestus knows what's going on. And by the way, Dionysius, we'll get to him later. He is the god of drunken fun and debauchery. He's like, hey, dude, drink this. Yeah, it's like, man, we are so screwed later. Yeah, but that sword was pretty wicked. I know. You could make Bill and Ted with Hephaestus and Dionysius, and you could probably get away with it. Now, Hera's like, Ares! Go! Get Hephaestus! Go, 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 go! And he's like, yep. This ain't good. Now, Hephaestus wouldn't tell him how to unfix the throne, but Dionysius, who was despite the drink, was fairly intelligent. He's like, okay, give me a moment. Drank him up a bit. It's like, okay, let's get her out of there. What's the secret? And he's like, okay, man, I'm gonna, Dad, Zeus, I want a favor, but if you do that, then fine. Like, okay. And once the throne was rendered harmless, Hephaestus wanted a wife. But he wanted Athena. And for those who don't know Athena, who is the other one, Athena is probably not the best choice, but he didn't really make himself a good option either. He was very confident, and she spurned him. And he did so in a special Greek fashion. Which I won't say here, but they needed a towel. And since they didn't have a towel, a dude rose from the seeded earth. And that was Erectonius, the earthborn king of Athens. But Hephaestus, having failed with Athena, asked and said for his reward for freeing Hera, that Aphrodite herself. So Zeus had to grant his wish. But the marriage was neither of Aphrodite's choosing nor to her taste. So, yeah, Hephaestus got his way back, wanted a wife, he had to wheel and deal. He's one of the guys that, not the nicest, but not the... He's like, meh, middle of the road. I can see him like, if you make friends with him, good. He's a good guy. He will help you. Anger him, he will find new ways to wreck your day. Now, for me, Athena was actually one of my favorite goddesses. And the reason was she was, when she was born fully clothed in her armor with spear, I believe on a Pegasus. And because I think it was the story, Zeus ate a fly and he had such a headache, Hephaestus had to smack him and there was a crack, and from that crack in his skull came Athena. Now, Athena, if Aphrodite was she's the goddess of love. Athena was the studious one, the bookworm. Keen-eyed, very well in everything. Every avenue she explored, she was very good at. Just, what was sad was, everyone's like, oh, I want to... We were talking about, like, okay, if you could spend... We had to say, for a report, it's like, oh, if you could spend a day with a god or a goddess, what would it be? And everyone's like, all the boys were like, oh, Aphrodite. This was like a 6th grade thing for me. Oh, Aphrodite. Oh, Aphrodite. Oh, Hera. Oh, Aphrodite. It's like, what about you? Athena. Why? She can play instruments. She can drink. She can do all this cool stuff. Why wouldn't I? I'm just talking, and I'm looking at the rest of my classmates, like, y'all are dumb. Y'all are stupid. It's like Athena or, maybe Artemis. It's like this group here, and I'm just like... But I'm weird, so... And that's what we actually had to write about. We had to write fan fiction. And we also had Apollo was a popular one, Zeus, of course, Poseidon, Hades. Yeah, it was an interesting exercise. But Athena, named after Athens. She didn't have the lovers. I don't think she actually had many lovers at all. I don't remember many. But she was basically the teacher of the group. If you needed something to learn, she was the base of society. Any crafts, like building ships, wagons. If Hephaestus didn't build it, Athena did. Which actually, between the two, if they would have gotten together, they could have made a pretty good company. Not even like marriage. If they okay, if we get together, just work together, we own everything. They have to come to us for it all. We may want to do that. No. However, she was said to have her own special kind of beauty. A fair and stately woman, prime of life, she was known for also her marital prowess, but she was also known to preserve her virginity. Let's see. To me, Athena was just like, she was the one I wanted to talk to. It's like, you were cool. I wanted to talk to you. And I remember in 6th grade, like, you were awesome. You can build stuff. You could use a spear, because I thought, like, spear and... Well, everyone was talking about swords. I wanted the spear and the shield. Because that was me. I'm just like, this is like... This is a goddess. It's like, I would... Why? This is good, yes. More of this, please. And, of course, Athens was named after Athena. And she was actually very skilled at fighting as well. Not with the rage of Ares, but with skill, prudence, and more tactics. She was the strategist. Ares would get into fights to fight. She would get into fights to win. She had basically all these things, and I was just like, this is something you could write about, and I still feel that way. This, to me, I could just, gush about Athena for a while. But, yeah. So, Athena. She has trying to get, there's a myth I have here. You know what? Yeah, that's a good one. Now, Athena was known for things, one of them being weaving. Now, for those who don't know, there was a famous weaver named Arachne of Colophon. She won fame throughout a land called Lydia for her spinning, and she came from a humble birth. But her skill was such of a high renown, even the nymphs of the mountains, the rivers, the streams, of the forest, everyone wanted to see her handiwork, and they compared it to Athena. Arachne said, let her compete with me if she wants. Athena came to her in the guise of an old woman and said, you would do well to heed my advice. Surpass only mortals in your craft. Leave first place for the goddess. Pray for forgiveness. But Arachne's response was full of scorn. Now, Arachne basically went and said, you've gotten old and you're stupid and that was wrong. No, she isn't even here. She refused the challenge. And Athena took off her disguise and said, no, the goddess is here. And here we go. So they had their embroidery challenge. The theme for Athena was her own victory over Poseidon in the contest of the patronage of Athens. And the patronage of Athens, who would be the god of Athens? And it was Poseidon versus Athena. Athena won. She embellished the border with examples of the folly of mortals who would challenge the gods. But Arachne showed the gods as seducers and deceivers of mortal women. And her work was perfect. And even Athena looked at it. And she had to agree. She couldn't find any fault. And in her pride and anger, the dreaded goddess forced the girl to suicide. But as the maiden was gasping out her last breath in the noose, Athena let her live, but in a different form. And that was the myth of the spider. So she could use her skills to go forever, weaving and embroidering. And that was Arachne. Now, most of the gods aren't nice, but, yeah. For me, I think actually Athena was one of the few goddesses in the God of War series that was actually almost nice. So, if memory serves. But this was about Hephaestus and Athena. If you like it, tell me what you think. Any good references you remember from different media, tell me down below. Once again, have a good one. Ta-ta for now.